Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Xfinity. Call 1-800-XFINITY today for a great offer. Ram Trucks, hurry in for a great deal on a Ram truck at the Ram Big Finish event. And by Meijer. Shop Meijer and save on everything for your holiday, from meals and parties to gifts and decor. And welcome back inside Joe Louis Arena. First of only 2 meetings this season with Dallas. Detroit has won 6 of the last 7 get-togethers, the most important, Game 48 last season. Ken Daniels, Mickey Redmond with you. Our goaltenders brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. There's Kari Lehtinen, who has been outstanding. He missed 5 games with a lower body injury. The Stars just won 1 of those. He's 30 years old, 6'4", making an 11th start. Jimmy Howard, who blanked the Stars in that Game 48 last season to share the league lead in that regard with his 5th of last season. There's Dennis Leroux, number 14. Kelly Sutherland is number 11. In Boston Tuesday, the Stars were being outshot in the first period 15-1 by the Bruins, 18-10 after 20. But we're tied at 1 after 1, and they won it in a shootout. The team really rallied for Tyler Seguin, who really wanted the win for him there. He was being booed throughout. And the Dallas Stars are a very good skating team, and the Red Wings will have their hands full with them tonight.
Yes, they will. And wasn't it interesting and kind of unique that Peverley and Seguin, icing right off the hop, scored in the shootout?
Yes.
To beat the Bruins. They're both former Bruins and helped the Bruins win the Stanley Cup, or go to the Stanley Cup final, rather. And there's a look at those 2 guys, Rich Peverley, Tyler Seguin. They've added speed and experience, especially with Peverley. The youth of Seguin is the key to the future. And Lindy Ruff, all those years in Buffalo, a great, solid coach. And Jim Nill, who was with us, as you can see, for 19 years. Even keel. He's learned from the best here in Detroit. He'll do a great job, and everybody likes Jim Nill. When he's around, he's here tonight. Hugs and kisses from everybody around the Red Wing organization. Everybody liked him. He was an easy-going guy that was easy to like.
Vernon Fiddler will wheel one back to the line. Held in by Jordy Ben, the older brother of Jamie, who's their captain. It comes to Jordy again. Jordy made his NHL debut against the Red Wings a few seasons back. Zetterberg just golfed one on a backhander down ice. Ben going for it. Bertuzzi and Chase. Bertuzzi had a very successful road trip with this top line as the Red Wings in the midst of a change now. And Daniel Cleary getting one ahead. Look out far side. Alfredsson going to the goal as Weiss has it. Threw one in, but Kari Lehtinen will hold on to that puck, and he'll get the face-off.
Well, you notice right there, Stephen Weiss is on the 2nd unit tonight. He was on the 3rd and 4th units earlier in the year when things weren't going so well, but he's starting to settle down a little bit and take a deep breath here and there. Funny hop that Lehtinen made sure didn't get through to Alfredsson. So it'll be Cleary and Weiss and Alfredsson here on this 2nd unit for Mike Babcock.
Back to the line it came, and DeKeyser partially fanned on it. Trevor Daley, number 6 in white for the Stars. There is number 91, Tyler Seguin. As Dallas brings it through. Number 43, Valerie Nichushkin, and what a big body he is. At 6'4", over 200 pounds. Cleary, he'll knife it through. Back to get it, the veteran in his 19th season, Sergei Gonchar. For Nichushkin, taken away there by Weiss. And back to cover Cleary was Jamie Benn, number 14. Gonchar's got it. Speaking of Nichushkin, Jim Nill got Sergei Gonchar to mentor the other Russian, Nichushkin. Here's Abdelkader with a shot that will be held by Kari Lehtinen. And a face-off coming up to the goaltender's right. He loves to play the puck, a former 2nd overall pick of the Atlanta Thrashers back in 2002. And 15 seasons as assistant GM here, Jim Nill. And everyone asking about his wife, Becky, who's gone through cancer through her life, and we wish Becky all the best. Everybody asking Jim about Becky, so she's doing one.
It's like old home week for him. And
like I
said, everybody loved him, he and Becky both, and he tells me she's doing well. And glad to hear that stuff. And
it was a great day for him today, too, because he got his Grand Rapids Griffins Calder Cup championship ring today, as did Thomas Tatar, showing it off this morning. It's a beauty.
Well, before Dallas was able to get Jim Nill to bite on a contract, many teams were after Jim Nill over the years many of them, and wanted him as their general manager over the years. And finally, he decided it was the right move. And I remember the Dallas group looking at him, talking to all the boys.
They all came over today and to say hello.
Played for the Winnipeg Jets. Jimmy Dale way back when.
Finished up with Detroit too, and such a big part of the Stanley Cups here. And he also, from Mark Leach and Joe McDonnell, the scouts who he took from Detroit to join him in Dallas, also got their rings. Save made by Howard from the Grand Rapids Griffins.
I remember Jim Light telling me that he'd been trying to get Neil to be his general manager for a long time. He finally was able to, and he was really excited when they were able to make a deal for Jimmy to take over the reins of the hockey operation.
Zetterberg ahead for Bertuzzi, ran into traffic, grabbed there by Jordy Ben. Ben delayed and a pass ahead, went off a stick. Not allowed Kindle to get it to center, then intercepted again by Rich Peverly, taken away here by Miller. For Michael Samuelson, who's in the lineup for Jordan Tootoo, and again, Kari Lehtinen, who'd play it if he could, will hold on to it. And speaking of the rings, here's a look at them. They're beauties for the Grand Rapids Griffins, the Calder Cup champions. Thomas Tatar, so proud of his this morning.
Pretty good stuff.
And he was the playoff MVP with 16 goals and 21 points. And you can see every game, Mick, he's gaining more and more confidence in the NHL level too.
He like most of his teammates, didn't have a very good night in Winnipeg, but did a couple of goals and an assist in the 3 other games. So he needs more of that to keep a regular job in the NHL for a guy that's not very big, quick and smart.
Darren Helm out there along with Samuelson and Miller. It's going to take a while for Helm, and I hate to say get up to speed because that's not true, but to keep the energy going.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Well, when you're out as long as he's been, I don't care how fast you are. It's a fast league, boy.
Yeah, and there'll be fast shifts tonight, as in short.
Well, Mike Babcock told me tonight that, he's, in spite of whether he plays well or doesn't play well, getting back into game condition, he's managing his ice time just because he's been gone so long.
That's touched and offside by Detroit.
You have to do that because coming off that back problem where they couldn't really diagnose what the problem was for the longest time had to be very frustrating for that young man. And then to step on the ice in Edmonton and score a goal in his first shift, that's pretty special. But you know what? It's going to take a while for Darren Helm to get up to where Darren Helm should be.
I'll even remember the 11-12 season, returned from a knee injury to play first round against Nashville, but the Radulov skate cut his forearm tendon, 7 weeks gone there, and then off-season hit by a puck in the face, orbital bone broken. He's had just a horrible time, and you just hope now for Darren Helm, the injuries are behind him and just carry on.
Yeah.
He was very happy to go back to Winnipeg. He loved that.
Yeah, for
sure. May not have been the best of games, but he had he and Jordan.
Well, he had a great chance in the first 5-6 minutes, and I'm going, come on, bear down, kid. He kind of flipped the puck at the goaltender and wasn't able to score. But, if he does score, that game might be a different outcome.
By the way, game aside, you would have enjoyed Winnipeg. The downtown is beautiful. The rink's a really neat building, and you would have liked it.
Well, I would have liked it, I'm sure, but I heard you talking about the wind coming down Portage in Maine, and that hasn't changed.
No. It wasn't snowing when we were there. That was good. We got out of Dodge in Edmonton.
It is cold.
Yes. Here's Alfredson at the line. Deflected wide. They were booing him in Winnipeg. Alfredson. They pick someone there every night to boo, and Alfredson was the target because he played so long, I think, in Ottawa.
Strange tactic, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't quite understand that. But
what's usually for the best player.
It's a compliment.
It's a compliment.
Really?
Yeah. Kicked off here by Cleary. Alfredson. There's a shot and a save by Kari Lehtinen. Another shot rolled through loose, and Alfredson couldn't get a stick on it as former Red Wing Ray Whitney sends one ahead to Alex Chiasson. Chiasson, number 12, and what a goal scorer he's been for these Dallas Stars, although a little bit cold of late. Jordy Ben threw it in back of the net for Chiasson. He's big too at 6'4", over 200 pounds. Ben at the line, looked for a pass in front to Seguin. It didn't work. Seguin went back to the line to Ben again. Howard will stop it from coming out front. Cross-check throw in there. No call as Holmquist went down. It went off a skate. Tapped back and then intercepted. Here's a chance for Tyler Seguin. Seguin back to Ben. Goes across to the other side now. Goligoski turning with. That's Nichushkin on that side. That's knocked out of the air, though. Alfredson at this stage is one off. Makes the pass to Tatar, who's in the clear. Stick lifted. And save made by Lehtinen, and no call on that.
He's looking for it. He's looking for it. There's been less called in this league these days. They're very liberal on penalty shots and hooks.
Nothing there, though.
No, he didn't get he got his feet a little bit, but not up to the stick. I guess that's a good non-call. He got the stick a little bit, but, you know, you should be able to get the stick a little bit in my world. Look at this great rip by Alfredsson. He realized I got a chance to wind up and take my time. Nobody's getting to it except the goaltender, Lettinen. Pretty good. Alfredsson, 13 points, almost a point a game. Slow start. Got on fire there for 4 or 5 games and feels a lot more comfortable where he's at now in a Detroit Red Wing uniform.
Well, he can only hope when the Red Wings go into Ottawa the 1st of December that he has an outcome like Tyler Seguin did going back to Boston. Seguin was booed throughout the game, but then, as you mentioned, scores in the shootout. Peverley scores in the shootout. Both of those guys who were traded away, and they win 3-2. Dallas did a couple of nights ago.
They'd like to turn the favor as opposed to what Ottawa did to Detroit here 2 weeks ago.
The mesh, it must have been the skate right there, cut the outside of the mesh.
You could see it right there.
Nichushkin.
So we got to get the part of being a referee is you got to learn how to do darning needles and what do they call it when you're making a big quilt? You got to learn how to quilt if you're a linesman to be able to fix nets. It's the same kind of thing. Get the needles out, fix the net, and we'll be back.
With a new net in place, let's give you the summer of change for the Dallas Stars. Jim Nill was hired, and actually it first leaked out when the Red Wings were winning Game 48 last season in Dallas. New logos for the team. Sergei Gonchar was acquired. Lindy Ruff hired after let go in Buffalo. Nichushkin and Dickinson were drafted, and Tyler Seguin, along with Rich Peverley in the Louis Eriksson deal, were acquired, and Jamie Benn was named captain of the Dallas Stars.
Just a few changes, eh?
And they say Ben's been just a terrific leader. He leads the team in assists, second in points with 14. And he can return to his natural wing position from center. It's a big part of why they got Seguin. Here's a break for Seguin, who's driving the goal, in his pass for Nichushkin. He couldn't get a stick on it. Off to Seguin again. Some time in front. Saved by Howard.
Wow. That's a misfire, fortunately for Jimmy Howard and the Red Wings, but Pavel Datsyuk, if we can take a look at this, guys, watch this play right here. Hold it right here. There's another Dallas Star over on the side. Pavel Datsyuk is trying to eliminate Seguin himself. Hold it right there. He does. He makes sure that Seguin can't cut to the net himself. Cronwall does his job, but what a back check by Pavel Datsyuk, the Magic Man. He's like a ghost. He's not there. You don't see him, and then all of a sudden, he's there again.
And you called him the Magic Man. Do you know what Siri is?
I've heard, yeah.
The iPhone, if you mention something to Siri. If you say to Siri, who is the Magic Man? Up comes Pavel Datsyuk.
How does that happen? How do they know? Unbelievable. Really. So somebody's listening, eh? Wow. I know somebody that talked back to Siri one time and she got upset. How do you like that? I said, really? Okay.
Do you know that
she's a machine?
The voice of Siri is the former wife of Kurt Bennett, who used to play with the Atlanta Flames.
He was a tough guy. Yeah, I remember Kurt Bennett. Yeah.
That's all you need to know. That's the Paul Harvey on that.
It's a crazy world.
Yes. I tried Datsuki and Deke, but it didn't understand what I was saying. It didn't come up, Pavel Datsyuk. Behind the net for Samuelsson, taken away by Dillon. And Eric Cole, number 72, gets it down the ice. Cole was acquired for Michael Ryder. Intercepted, the Stars have it, but good takeaway there by Kindle. John Horkoff, familiar number 10, familiar to folks in these parts. His time at Michigan State. Nichushkin with an opportunity.
Wow.
A lot of traffic in front. That puck bounces down. Applicator trying to get it out. Finally, he will to center ice. Right back in came Jamie Benn. Threw one back into the slot, but Zetterberg's there to take it away. On his horse goes Datsyuk. Nearly knocked it out of the air, but no go. He'll get to the puck first to negate the hybrid icing. Threw one across for Zetterberg. Zetterberg fending off a check, put it in front. Bertuzzi just missed it. Scampering in went Adam Almquist, number 53 on the Red Wing blue line in his second game. Almquist waiting. Put one in for Zetterberg.
Shoot that
Tried
puck.
to tip it deep, couldn't do it.
Gotta shoot the puck quick, kid.
Puck to the corner for Datsyuk as Seguin is on him, and then Jamie Benn knocked it to center ice. Adam Almquist, small but oh so smart. Stefan Robidoff threw it around to the other side, and Dallas's Ray Whitney will bring it to center. Whitney's 21st season, former second-round pick of San Jose in '91, the only active player left from the '91 draft, Ray Whitney.
Wow.
Makes me feel old. I don't know how Ray feels. Chiasson.
Well, that is
Dump one
22
in.
years. Yeah. 22 years, yeah. Most guys don't play 9 or 10, let alone 20.
Weiss has his pocket picked at center. Tried to throw one back into Chiasson, that didn't work. Cody Eakin has it. Went back to the line to Ben. Already Ben's shot was knocked down in front, and Alex Goligoski gives it back to Ben. Cody Eakin with a good pass through. Turning with it is Goligoski. He came over from Pittsburgh in the James Neal deal. Cleary sent one rink wide. Cronwall with a good pass. Abdelkader had it in his skates, backhanded one, it got blocked. Tries to get through, he couldn't. And Anderson on the intercept off the back of the goal. Grabbed there by Antoine Roussel, but not out of the zone. Now it's to center as Tatar for De Keyser. He missed it, and the Red Wings will have to go back. Abdelkader made sure to clear the zone as Daly goes back here to Sergei Gonchar. Jim Nill made that move to get his rights acquired from Ottawa. Again, just for a stabling influence in the blue line and to mentor Nichushkin.
They certainly expected more from an offensive side out of Gonchar. He's had some serious injuries, but Nichushkin does not speak English hardly at all. And Gonchar, of course, is Russian and is interpreting for him right now, but they're paying him a lot of money to be an interpreter. He needs to be at least part of the hockey player he has been for years. He's been a pretty darn good quarterback on the defense.
Just 1 point so far. Here's Quincy, top of the circle, the shot, good save by Kari Lehtinen, and the rebound corralled there by Horkoff, and they got him for his face-off prowess. Took a big contract to get it off the hands of Edmonton.
He told me that before the game, he said it's big-time difference in the atmosphere in Edmonton, Alberta as a hockey town and being in Dallas where you get a little bit of space being a professional hockey player. He said it's not all bad. It's pretty nice. But
with what's going on in Edmonton now, I think he'll be happy in Dallas.
I would say it's a good time, right now not to be there, for sure.
Turned over as Bertuzzi wasn't able to get it out, but Henrik Zetterberg will. Got across center, and in goes Bertuzzi up there along with Jordy Ben. Held in by De Keyser. Ben in the corner, away from Bertuzzi. Zetterberg, second man in on the puck. Just over Datsyuk's stick, and now Jamie Benn's got it.
Look at that Datsuk come back again. Look at that steal. Holy mackerel.
And the league leader in takeaways is Pavel Datsyuk.
He goes as fast and works as hard defensively as he does going offensively. Almost harder, because it's easier for him with the puck.
Here's Weiss with a shot. Bobbled by Lehtinen, and he'll hold on for a face-off. Just past the halfway point in the opening period. 0-0. Joe Louis Arena.
It's time for the Datsyuk Dix.
Yeah, and this was a beauty on Turco.
Was it ever? Time for
Almost 10 years
Datsyuk and
ago.
Deke. That's 10 years ago when he was just basically learning how to speak English. But he knew what Datsyuk and Deke meant.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Danny Gallivan started the IAN stuff with the Savardian Spinorama and all that stuff, and I had the great pleasure to work with Danny way back when. You're the one that come up with the Datsyuk and Deke whenever you did, so I love all the nicknames. We don't have enough nicknames as far as I'm concerned anymore.
And the greatest thing is Pavel loves it. So,
oh, absolutely. Oh, he loves that stuff. Not for boasting reasons and all that stuff, but because it's fun.
Yeah.
He loves that stuff because it's a fun part of the game. It's a tough game. You work your tail off. Sure, you make a lot of money, but if you're Datsyuk, the travel's tough and it's a physically tough game, but you don't have a whole lot of opportunity sometimes to have a few laughs, and whenever you can, if the situation's right, it's really good. There's no better humor than hockey humor, especially in the dressing room.
well, he's overdue for a Datsyuk and Deke or a goal of any kind against Dallas because he's gone 8 games without one against the Stars.
Yeah. Well, he is shooting the puck more in a year and a half than he ever did before.
Gonchar pinched in down low against Cleary. Quincy tried to clear, and then Cleary hits
they're gonna
Gonchar
call
from
it.
behind.
Well, they called for it from all over the ice. It seemed like a little bit of a high hit by Cleary.
Detroit penalty, number 71. 2 minutes for boarding.
You know what? It was a love tap, but you know what? It's too close to what's been happening around the league these days, and that's why they made the call. So whenever a guy's got his numbers towards you, you just basically got to back off him completely, or you're going to get called. Especially when they go flying away from you after contact. So first power play of the game goes to the visitors.
Now Whitney, as the Stars are on a power play, they moved it quickly off to Kaiser's stick, and Goligoski go back. The first 8 games, look at the success the Stars had on the power play. The last 7, not so much, and have not scored at home this season, but good news for them. They're on the road where they're 6 for 32. Red Wing penalty killing is 8th best and 18 for 18 the past 4 games. Stars work it around. On the outside, Jamie Benn in front of the goal, Ray Whitney in the high slot. In here to Rich Peverly at the right point. Across the shot, off the post. Seguin let it rip.
Set up that was. We'll have to look at that when we get a chance. Ray Whitney.
Ray Whitney's got it again. Seguin on the far side. Peverly with the wrist shot. Blocked in front of the goal by Kronwall, off skates and then cleared. Move back in for Whitney again. For Tyler Seguin. Second overall pick by Boston behind Taylor Hall of Edmonton. It was Taylor and Tyler a year that year. Whitney's got it in the corner.
Ooh, nice
Dropped that by
two-hander.
Lashout.
Sure
Sure
hear
was.
that one up here.
That was slash off on that one.
It was slash off. I don't know why. Back and whack. Where's Gilbert Delorme and Lee Norwood?
Puck is tipped. Helm's got it, and down the ice it goes.
How about that? Darren Helm back in his old familiar spot, killing penalties. Slash off. That's good.
Shots are 7-2
Back and whack. Where are you?
in the Red Wings' favor. They used to call Brad Marsh touch and grab, where his kids were anyway.
Oh, look at this great setup. They call Ray Whitney the Senator because he's always dressed to the nines. Nice suit and tie, backhand blind pass, and Seguin just lots of time to wind up and rip it. And he rips it off the goalpost, off Jimmy Howard's hip, and he got a fortunate bounce. It came out, not back.
Tyler Seguin with 5 points his last 5 games. 11 points in 9 road games, so he's done very well for the Stars. His road record is sub 500.
12%.
4 and 5.
Pretty bad on that Dallas power play.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, not one at home. They're all 6 been on the road, right?
5 seconds remaining in the penalty to Daniel Cleary, and that'll do it. So the Red Wings escape that one, and 19 for 19, and on the penalty kill of late, and no shots, just one chance, and that was the Seguin. Of course, when he hits the post, a shot doesn't count as a shot. Gonchar got in front of it with some help from Roussel. Down ice it goes for Howard. They'll move it along for Quincy. There to recover was Pavel Datsyuk. To Kaiser. Garbutt ran into the Kaiser. Here's Bertuzzi with a shot. Sharp angle and off the side of the goal. Grabbed there by Cody Eakin.
Pretty good move by Bertuzzi.
It was.
He doesn't get to do that very often. Wind up. See Bert back off that check right there. That's what you have to do. We'll show you that if we get a chance. He could have creamed that guy, but he probably would have got a penalty.
Here comes Stephen Weiss with a full head of steam. Weiss is right in and just rolls off his stick as Lettinen holds on. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
This game break brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, Montreal and Ottawa. Canadians up 1-0 until Bobby Ryan beats Carey Price. All tied up at 1 after 1. Now back to Ken and Mickey at the Joe.
Well, Bert Bertuzzi was a sportsman just a moment ago. And again, I talked about that hit. Cleary got a penalty. Look at here. Dillon goes to the boards. Bertuzzi could have creamed him, but he realized he had his back to him. He spun out a little bit, and Bert said, you know what? No need to make the hit there. It doesn't make any difference in the game.
Now, in all honesty, that's old-time hockey.
Yes, it is. He gave it up because he probably would have got a penalty, and he knew it. So that's the way all players should play most of the time. Unless you have to make the hit in a critical scoring situation, there's no need to make a hit there unless you're trying to hurt somebody. Way to go, Bert. Good sportsman.
Yep.
He'll be a good hockey player and be a good sportsman.
Sagan will go in there along with DeKeyser. DeKeyser and Cronwall out there against the Sagan unit.
Another excellent play by young DeKeyser.
Grabbed there by Nichushkin. Valerie Nichushkin banned on it, then got it, and just ripped the shot wide. That was close. Howard may have just got a piece of that. Cronwall carries in. Another try, missed the target. Zetterberg on the right wing, in for Pavel Datsyuk, trying to get away from his countryman, Gonchar. Datsyuk took the short route.
Doesn't do that very often, does he?
No. Cole was checked there by Bertuzzi on the back check. Adam Almquist spinning away from Horcock.
Oh boy, good move.
Well, when you're small like Almquist is, you've got to have smarts. You've got plenty of that.
You better have.
Just like Brian Rafalski, who lasted as long as he did, but boy, was he ever beat up at the end of his career. Why he retired early. Hart. Eric Cole's got it, stumbling with it a little bit. He got flattened by Johnny Boychuk on Tuesday. Did Eric Cole in Boston? Wow.
Yes, he did a clean check, though.
Yeah, it was. And Vernon Fiddler came into his defense. Tatar stumbled across the line. Anderson went wide of the goal. Ray Whitney. He'll just backhand it out to center. Whitney had 43 points in 67 games with the Red Wings in 03-04 before Detroit bought him out. As that puck goes up and out of play. Well, see living legends back on the ice in the 2013 Leafs Red Wings Alumni Showdown, December 31st at Comerica Park. 2 games, one incredible memory, part of the 2013 Hockeytown Winter Festival. For tickets, call 313-471-7575 now. Ticket executives are standing by. And if the line were ever to be busy, it's Mickey Redmond calling, because how many tickets do you need? 300?
Lots.
I guess so. Well, you'll call at the intermission, so everyone call now before Mickey gets going.
Yeah, I guess there's already been between 25 and 30,000 tickets sold.
Going quickly.
Yeah.
That's not the big house.
Comerica.
30,000 plus or so.
Oh, it's going to be a great day. Doubleheader.
And we'll have them both for you on Fox Sports Detroit as well. Helm with a shot, went off a leg high into the netting and out of play.
Well, it'll be great to see a lot of old Leafs back in their jersey. Wendell Clark, I guess Boreas Salming. I'm always curious to who's going to play goals. Is it Felix Potvin? Will it be Mike Palmateer? We're not sure. We don't have a Leafs lineup yet, but
It won't be Johnny Bauer.
Lanny McDonald. It won't be Johnny Bauer. I played against him.
But I got to tell you, when Bernie Perrant came out in Philadelphia, the guys who were there said that was the loudest ovation they've ever heard in Philadelphia for anybody, any sport, and it was for Bernie Perrant.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the 50,000 Leaf fans of Johnny Bauer?
Oh, my God. Bernie was quite the goaltender. I had to play against him in Philadelphia, and boy, oh boy, was he stingy. Holy mackerel. But yeah, Wendell Clark will be there, Rick Vaive, Lanny McDonald, Darryl Sittler for the Leafs, and
Salming.
You already know, the Red Wing defense is all Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Chelios and Coffey and Lidstrom and Murphy and Mark Howell.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes on and on. Yuri Fisher's going to play, I guess.
Don't forget, and up front, too, with Brendan Shanahan. There's a shot and a save. And a quick shot. Let go by Alex Chiasson.
Still working on number 19 to try to get him to come and play.
Working on Dominic Hasek, too.
Maybe we'll ask Stevie on Saturday night if he's here with his team, the Lightning. If
Chiasson sure will get a chance to
got a
speak with
chance
Steve.
to figure it out yet.
Point shot, kicked aside by Howard from Stefan Robidas. Up for Datsyuk. Datsyuk played ahead. Bertuzzi on the right wing. Bertuzzi to Zetterberg and forced wide of the goal. Zetterberg kicking at it in behind the net.
Good battle. Puck still loose. Good battle.
Good
You hear
job
the
by
referee?
Bertuzzi. It's underneath. Yeah.
The rink mics are picking up the referee who is hollering instructions to the players about moving it, and he's talking to him now about what's going on as he gets lots of complaints. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it, and no matter what you do, you're always making somebody mad. And there he's talking to the captain like he should be. Way to go. communicate. There you go. Speed nods his head. Okay, thank you.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
That's what Z just told him. He said, you do your job, I'll do mine, and we'll have Miller together after the game. How about that?
Good idea.
And maybe I'll give you the Miller play of the game. Yeah.
Standing up at center was Tatar to knock it down. Coming up with it is Peverly. Peverly, who came over in that deal. Riley Smith, Brendan Smith's brother, also a part of that deal going the other way. Cole couldn't pick it up. Held in at the line by Gonchar. In back of the net for Rich Peverly. Fanned on by Horcock. As the puck rolls back into the Star zone, played by Lettinen. Gonchar had trouble with it. Jamie Benn came with some speed, had to stop to get it, but a good feed through and knocked away from Nichushkin.
I was thinking the same word when I saw him, this jersey flying in the wind coming through center ice. This is what they talk about with this Dallas team now, ever more than ever, is the speed because of the youngsters that they've added and the veterans. And this team is a much quicker team, one of the quickest in the NHL.
Back in the net, grabbed by Benn up front. As that went from brother to brother.
Alfredson, nice defensive play there to deflect that over the net.
That is Jamie to Jordy. Jamie scored in Boston the other night. Jordy assisted on it. First time that they've been on the same goal together. Kicked by Kronwall in back for De Keyser. Got hit to the boards hard. A race scored. Helm was beaten to it by Stefan Robidas, the 36-year-old. Played for Drew Miller. For Samuelson. Up for Helm, knocked out of the air. Helm in there along with Brendan Dillon. Back of the net, Robidas. Robidas with it again. He's been a warrior back there for Dallas. Plays for injuries time after time.
Yeah, a lot of years. Got a lot of battle scars, that kid.
Dozen seconds to go in the first period. Helm careful not to ice it. Gets across center. Had his stick lifted. Gets bumped inside the line. Stayed with it. Chance here, Datsyuk. Backhanded wide. And the period comes to its conclusion with no goals in the opening 20. Our Ram intermission report. John Keating with us. We'll guest with Brian Lashoff. And a strong start for Daniel Alfredson and Stephen Weiss, the other newcomer, finding their game. Darren Elliott, Chris Osgood in our studio with Justin White. A reminder to vote in the Fox Sports Detroit Red Wings Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's new Premium Southwest McWrap. To vote, just text WINGS followed by a space and the player's uniform number to 37338, or vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com and see final results post-game during Red Wings Live. Well, Danny De Keyser had himself a big night in Winnipeg, even if his teammates didn't. And this is your local Toyota dealer's scouting report on Danny De Keyser, the former Western Michigan Bronco. Played for Jeff Blashill there and Andy Murray, so he had some pretty good coaching and leads the Red Wings in total ice time this season. That's something. For more in Michigan, I know you play hockey with his dad, Mickey.
I played with Danny, too, one day last Christmas. He came out when he was home for his Christmas break.
And here it is on Monday.
He put on 20 pounds over the summertime when he signed with the Wings last spring. All 30 teams were after him. He's been a late bloomer. It was like a top 20 draft for sure, and closer to a first 10 the way he's going.
I asked him after the game, you got the puck? He said, yeah, Croner got it for me. Nick Kronwall's the keeper of the puck. He makes sure he gets all those things
for a player that's only played in about 25 games in the NHL. He is an excellent first passer. Really good. I worry about him because he's getting crunched and hit, and he's vulnerable when making those plays. That'll come with experience, hopefully, when he knows how to make contact first, or not just to expose himself to getting cracked by some of the bigger, tougher guys in the league, because, boy, he can get hurt that way. But what a passer he has been so far. Great start for young De Keyser.
Second period is underway. A bobbled puck at the line just went wide of the net. Samuelson tried to clear it. It bounced off Goligoski and stayed in Red Wing territory. Kindle protected the puck. He got tripped up. Samuelson to the line, and the puck came back to center ice. As Fiddler will put one back to his defense. Jordy Benn tapped in deep by Ryan Garbutt. Garbutt, who played with Lindy Ruff, played junior with Garbutt's dad, Gord, in the Lethbridge, Alberta, way back when. So a connection there from Garbutt to his now head coach Lindy Ruff as that puck is up and out of play.
In those first 40 seconds, Lindy Ruff's team was all over Detroit on the forecheck, and it's easy to see that they're very, very quick. When I look at Lindy right now, I'm going, Lindy, who's picking out your clothing? Holy jumping. Blue and pink? Come on. Kenny, you're the clothes guy.
I was going to say,
It looks good?
no, just the fact that you're commenting on someone else's clothes.
Well, yeah, I guess, but
What a world.
yeah, I know, but you know, when you got flannels on, you know what? It's easy.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily pink.
He never wore that when he was
Maybe
in
more
Buffalo.
peachy color, but
Is it it's got to be a Texas thing, huh?
well, you have the hat on.
It's got to be.
You know what?
What a great guy he is.
Lindy Ruff loves to bowl. I asked him this morning, I said, this bonding, when you guys get on the road, and you played a lot of road games, said, we haven't done bowling yet, but we will. So he's going to have these guys bowling in no time. Big fan of that.
Well, he was Mike Babcock's assistant with the Canadian Olympic team, and he's got his team playing a similar style. They're very, very quick, but I don't know how efficient they are yet at moving the puck to each other. But boy, are they quick afoot. Holy mackerel.
Pavel Datsyuk gave it a bank one out to center ice. Came back here for Tyler Seguin. Seguin took so much heat in Boston for the apparent lifestyle, and then a Twitter incident saying his account got hacked. He's trying to put it behind him, and the Red Wings go offside there.
Well, I said Lindy Ruff and Mike Babcock, World Championship, Olympic champions, the Canadian team on Sid Crosby's goal. There they were from left to right. Mr. Babcock, Mr. Lemaire, Mr. Ruff, and Mr. Hitchcock, Kenny Hitchcock in St. Louis.
And all but Jacques Lemaire replaced by Claude Julien for the French-Canadian angle. I'm sure for Canada they'll be heading up the Olympic team in Sochi as well this year, next year. 2014 in February. Point shot, Gonchar. That was a hard blast. It went wide of the goal. Jason put it back into the corner. Good work by Weiss to come away with the puck. Stephen Weiss off the glass. Dallas right back out to center. Zalmquist got it to Quincy and right back in. As the Red Wings get in on the forecheck. Mike Babcock has not liked his team's second periods this season. Trying to do better in that regard. Held it at the line. And that was fanned on by Gonchar.
A good thing. Supposed to be an offside and a miscue by Gonchar. No wonder it's going rough for him. That was a screen shot that might have found the back of the net.
Gonchar, a former teammate with Daniel Alfredsson in Ottawa. Alfredsson goes off in a change now as Tatar tried to bust through three of those new White Stars sweaters. Couldn't do it. Tatar's got it now, though, yeah. Good angle pass. Lashoff head up. Off the backboards out front. Oh, what a save by Lettinen. Tatar thought that was in the back of the net, and he's shaking his head going, how did it didn't dent the twine?
Well, Lettinen wasn't exactly in perfect goaltending position to make this save, but this is part of being a great goaltender. He's on his rear end. Puck bounces up. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. He's got his back to the blue line. Watch this when he makes this save. Right there, he turns over. That's a two-pad stack.
Yeah.
To be talking about. What a great save that was. Holy mackerel.
Jimmy Howard will come out and tee it up and make the play off the glass. Kicked at by Vernon Fiddler. Ravens opposed him during his time in Nashville. Reliable guy, Fiddler is.
What a great game in Boston the other night. He was always a good player for Nashville against Detroit. He's a competitor, that kid.
33-year-old free agent. And he had a penalty shot goal, Vernon Fiddler, the other night. Late in the game.
The beauty.
Equalizer, yeah. You're not going to say Fiddler roofed it, are you?
No, you did.
Nichushkin brings it in. Stops inside the line, looks for Ben, but Kindle saw that all the way. Then Miller had it taken away by Jamie Benn. Couldn't get through Samuelson, though. Then Miller back for Kindle. Zetterberg stopped Sagan. In comes Nichushkin. With number 43, got bumped back to the net, stayed with it. Still with it. Lashoff, good job. Jumping in is Jamie Benn. Back to the point and off Stefan Robidas. Former 7th round pick of Montreal back in '95. Put a backhander on goal that Howard stopped. Eric Cole got checked. Lashoff for Pavel Datsyuk. Good feed for Bertuzzi to Zetterberg. Back for Bertuzzi. Knocked away, loose in front of the goal. Daly able to clear one. Ahead for Eric Cole. Left-hand shot. Joyce playing his off wing on the right side. Moved it around for Peverley. Peverley's got it again. Good pass back to Daly. And a save by Howard. Trevor Daly. To the other side for Eric Cole.
First shot of the period for either team.
Knocked away from Peverley. Dallas went more than 11 minutes in the first without a shot. Just offside was DeKeyser. Looking for his second goal just in ahead of the play. Let's take you back to Tuesday night in Boston where the Stars won 3-2 in a shootout. Coming back late to tie it. And this is it. Vernon Fiddler.
Pretty good move up over the catching glove of Tuukka Rask. And yeah, only a couple of minutes left on this one. And there was Seguin. That was some shot. Right-hander and a left-handed catching goaltender. And there was the Peverley score. We talked about those two in the open. Two former Bruins helped them go to the Stanley Cup Finals.
And won it. Seguin won a cup there too. And you know what? And came loose into the high slot for Holmquist. The shot and a save made. And the rebound grab by Lettinen.
Yeah, you're right. At one point in time, they were outshot 15-1. And then the shots near the end of the game were 23-22. So Dallas outshot Boston very badly right in their own rink the last half of the game. Kari Lettinen, even though the Red Wings only have 9 shots on goal, credit for 9 at least at this point. They might give him an extra one there. He's been very good.
Sure has. And the man at the top there, Josh Harding. What a season.
What a great story.
Through MS and everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
no kidding. Wonderful story.
Back from injuries. Harding's been great for a while. And this Western Conference will not be easy for Dallas to make the playoffs with the way that battle's going. Jim Nill was telling me this morning they've cut about 10,000 miles, though, off their travel, being in the Central Division. As bad as the Red Wings' travel was, where they were in the West, Dallas's was even worse with their time zone factor in. Ooh. Here's knocked away, and Alfredsson's up along with Tatar. And there's the Red Wings in the midst of a change here. DeKeyser to Kronwall. Tatar tipped it to Anderson. Abdelkader heading to the goal. Anderson didn't get a shot away. Goligoski got a piece of it with his stick. One-timer fanned on by DeKeyser. Abdelkader threw one toward the goal that was knocked down by Cody Eakin. Eakin positioned right now as second-line center in Dallas. Here's Tatar with a good head fake and a cut to the goal. But Nichushkin, the 18-year-old, able to knock it out to center ice. Top rookie in the Continental Hockey League last season.
Look at that pass.
Here's Helmin. Shot and a save by Lettinen.
With another DeKeyser pass right on the tape for a scoring chance by Helm.
Brought back by Seguin. Nichushkin with that long reach took a stab at it. Seguin taken to the boards by Helm, and the puck will squirt out to center. Jordy Benn for Eric Cole. Kindle took away his real estate, and Kindle got it back. Kept by Seguin. Made the play to Drew Miller, tight quarters. With help from Helm, it bounces back to center. Jordy Benn over to Sergei Gonchar. We'll go back with it.
You feel like there's no idle time in your play-by-play. I'm watching this game and I'm going, jumping. Jehoshaphat is quick.
Yeah.
A lot of things happening very quickly. Sometimes not very much, but at least it's movement. And they're going crazy. If you stand still, you're in trouble in this game.
Zetterberg for Bertuzzi. Scores! 2-1
Isn't that a lovely sight? That puck sitting in that big old empty net. Whoa! Way to go, Burt. A funny turnover from pressure. It looked like a nothing play to begin with. Here's Gonchar. And Datsuk, I think they'll give him a steal there. But he stole it. He intercepted it, stole it again. And it was funny knuckleball that caught the top corner. He might have got a piece of the glove on it. Look at Datsuk. The back of the stick. That's a double steal by the Ghost. And it leads to the only goal of this game. Holy mackerel, way to go, Big Burt. Wow. Is he enjoying his time with the two Europeans, 13 and 40.
And as we say, he had that great Western Canada road trip. Todd Bertuzzi did with them, his 5th of the season. And Datsuk and Zetterberg will each get assists on that one, and Datsuk should probably get a couple of steals on it too. 7:44 the time of the first goal of this game. Back to the line now for Goligoski. Zetterberg is team leading 9th assist. Whitney. Behind for Roussel. Taken to the boards by DeKaiser. Cleary had to be careful, took the safe way out. Now the crowd into their familiar Todd Bertuzzi chant here at Joe Louis Arena. Datsuk. Shot hit a leg. Zetterberg in front. Went for Datsuk.
What a backhand pass that was by Zetterberg.
Brought back in by Sagan. For Trevor Daley, goes after it in the corner with Quincy. Quincy and Holmquist on the backhand. Bertuzzi got a stick on it. Sagan with a hard shot that Howard will get a glove on. 1-0 Detroit. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
Well, it's 1-0 for the home team. Bertuzzi's got the goal. We often say it's a game of inches. How many inches? Watch Garbutt's stick right there. It hits the puck. Bertuzzi hits his stick right there. Then it's going to hit another stick on a different angle we're going to show you. Zetterberg with a setup. Datsuk with to him. Watch the stick here of Jordy Ben. Look at that. Bang, bang. No chance for the goaltender to react on a play like that. Is it a game of inches? I guess so. You got to live right to find the back of the net sometimes, and Bertuzzi is doing well.
Backhand, what a save by Howard. Oh, that arrived quickly, and his right pad was down and flicked it out, and the puck stayed out. Gorkov behind the net. Centered one, Stars recover that loose puck into the slot, banned on there by Eric Cole. Cole with just 1 goal in the season. Gorkov centered, nobody there for Dallas. Samuelson for Detroit. There goes Helm. He got it.
Oh.
He's in behind and just lost the puck.
Skipped over his stick, or he was in.
Off the back of the net and back into Red Wing territory. Kaiser and Kronwall over the boards. Bertuzzi to Kronwall, up to Zetterberg. Zetterberg in front for Bertuzzi, just missed it. Datsuk's got it with a head fake and a shot and a save by Lettinen. Zetterberg. For Datsuk, knocked away from him.
Well, they're feeling it right now, boy. All 3 of them.
Datsuk and Zetterberg each on 4-game point streak. You saw Bertuzzi's numbers with 4 points the past 4, but not consecutive. Chiasson had a shot that whistled high. So Todd Bertuzzi celebrates his 5th of the season in a 1-0 Red Wing lead. Well, now that Lindy Ruff is in Dallas, he's got to learn all about travel. He's not in that little bus league in the Eastern Conference when he was in Buffalo and could just make travel easy. He says, yes, he is learning about it on a daily basis, when to go, when not to go, when to leave after games. Mike Babcock knows all about it. 7 of the next 8 at home for Detroit, so no travel involved there. And 8 games versus the Eastern Conference. This is already their 9th against where they used to be the West. And through December 30th, 19 of 25 against the East. So the travel will lessen for Detroit now with the major trip. We just came off Western Canada, the only one, 7 days. his longest of the season this year. In January, won to California over 5 days, and that's it. So,
yeah.
Should get a lot better. As we said, the Red Wings have cut off 8,000 miles. Dallas 10,000 from their travel. Well, just by switching divisions, Red Wings going to the East a lot less.
These coaches both have to abide by the collective bargaining agreement now, where they have to give the team I think it's 4 days a month off. No travel, no nothing, just 4 off. And what they do a lot of times is they'll consult with the captain and say, okay, what do you think? We're thinking about this. What do you think? How would the guys feel about this? And collaborative effort, put the minds together. They figure out the best possible way usually to come back and forth and do what they do and when they're going to practice and all that stuff. And that's another job for the captain, to be an intermediary and representing his guys with the coaching staff, etc.
So 8 of 11 in November are here for Detroit. 7 of their next 8. This is the first of a 4-game homestand, and they're winless the previous 3 at Joe Louis Arena. 0-2-1 with just 3 goals scored in those 3 games.
Well, not only was the record bad, it was the way they lost that was bad. Outside of the San Jose game, which was 0-0, and they lost it in the shootout, they played well in that game and could very easily have won it at any time. But the other 2 games, they did not play very well. And sometimes it's not whether you win or lose, it's the way you win or lose that you really talk about internally.
Well, there it is. Not whether you win or lose, but how you play the game.
That's right. There you go. It's the same old adage again, right?
Yeah. No icing. And there's Brendan Dillon in his 2nd season, back to get it. Datsuk able to knock it down.
Under steal.
Got it to Zetterberg. Still with the puck. Zetterberg still has it. Behind the goal, Datsuk. Zetterberg again. Bertuzzi let it go to Datsuk. Corrals it. Goes far side with it. On push back to him. What a spin play. Datsuk across Quincy and a save made. Oh, and out the other side. What a play by the Magic Man. And Datsuki, indeed, there was a beauty there and a spinorama.
The crowd is buzzing on that one.
Here's Zetterberg. Anderson on for Datsuk. Abdelkader. Pass was centered by Lashoff. Came back to the line to Kindle. In goes Tatar. Garbett for Dallas to Roussel. Nowhere to go. Smothering defensive job by Detroit right there. Tatar. To Lashoff. And a shot. Big rebound. Good intercept. Tatar to Kindle. Then knocked away from him by Fiddler, who has the puck again. Garbett with a hard shot that Howard will hold.
Well, here's the play that's got everybody humming. Datsuk does a 180. Whoop! Here's the ghost. Ray Whitney just experienced the ghost. He wasn't there. Then he was, and he was gone. Oh, and then a setup to Quincy, and an excellent scoring chance there. But Pavel Datsuk continues to find ways to entertain on his skates.
And if you check at NHL.com, he's the 4th highest selling sweater this season in the National Hockey League.
Easy to see why. I talked to him before the game, and he must have saw the play that I was going to use in the open. He said, I like that. I said, you like that play? He said, oh yeah, it make me look good, Mickey. Well, that's easy to do, Pavel. Just keep doing what you're doing. But he just had a big smile, and he likes that stuff, you know.
I think we'd have trouble finding one that didn't make him look good. Centering pass, Howard the save.
What a save.
Going right to the net was Peverly.
Big save.
On a beautiful setup. And Seguin threw it in.
Very timely save by Jimmy Howard in a 1-0 game with 6:39 to go in the 2nd period. Because goals look like they're going to be at a premium here. Nice setup by Seguin going to the net, and Peverly. Bang, bang play. Solid goaltending by Mr. Howard. We'll talk more about him and the U.S. Olympic team as this game goes on and we get a chance. He's in the hunt for one of the top jobs for the U.S. team.
Second chance this period for Peverly to get on the board. Kindle played it up the near side, and Samuelson for Miller. He'll go after his own shoot-in. Taken out by Horkoff. A couple of Spartans in the back of the net together. Howard. Helm couldn't clear it around. Recovering though was Samuelsson as Shushkin's got it.
He was a tall drink of water, that kid. 18 years old, he's 6'4". He's only 200. When he gets finished growing, he's probably going to be 225, 230. He'll be like a big steam engine. Ooh. Somebody got plastered to the backboards there.
Yeah, but the way that Samuelsson, almost again, that you talk about that bear hug,
Yeah.
it's got to come back in. And that's the type where you shield her from a really hard hit. You saw Dave Bolin slice a tendon in his leg on a hit from Cassian in the Vancouver game because Cassian couldn't grab him, so he drove into him with his leg, and that's going to happen. I wish they'd bring in the bear hug and shield this and less injuries. Batted right back for Bertuzzi on a backhander. He goes after it again.
He's everywhere.
Zetterberg looked in front, shot, scores! Adam Holmquist! He's got his first National Hockey League goal! It's 2-0.
Oh, look at the smile on that young kid, and I don't know if Bertuzzi's going to get an assist or not. He should. Oh, yeah, he's going to get one. Bertuzzi, Zetterberg, Almquist, and off the left skate, and 2-0. I'm not sure who got the puck. Way to move in, young kid, and little wrist shot. Bent knee, he leaned on it, and oh, baby, is this any good? I'm living a dream.
Back-to-back games. DeKaiser gets his first NHL goal. Adam Almquist gets his first NHL goal, and Henrik Zetterberg made sure to get him the puck. That'll be a keeper forever.
Well, really, Detroit has, even though the shots are only 15-10, they've really taken over here in the last 4 or 5 shifts, and the big line has really been leading it. That took Zetterberg and Todd Bertuzzi.
DeKaiser across center, slides one in. Zetterberg and Bertuzzi assisting. 2-point night for each of those two guys. Tatar back of the net. With some good work in there. Ooh, and a hand pass called as Anderson picked it up. So 2-0 here as the Red Wings strike in the second period.
This game break is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Bruins and Panthers pick it up in the second period. Boston's Dougie Hamilton with the shot from the point. David Krejci is there to deflect it in. 1-0 Bruins in the third. Now back to Ken and Mick at a suddenly jumping Joe Louis Arena.
Jumping Justin, and you know, Adam Almquist, first NHL goal, and Henrik Zetterberg went to the linesman. So give that to
the Tooth Fairy,
to Paul Boyer,
who's in a striped.
There's the puck.
Shane Heyer. So you know what? You don't think that these guys, the referees and linesmen, have to know what's going on. They knew that Almquist.
Zetterberg went over to the linesman and said,
"Did he tell him to go get it?" Well, they know. These guys are pretty sharp, boy. They know when young players are there and haven't scored a goal normally, and by the reaction of everything going on.
Off the side of the goal, holding his ground there was Howard. Make sure it didn't come out front. And as Lashoff will skate at the center, ahead off Samuelsson and in. Lehtinen, who likes to play that puck, cleared it himself. Darren Helm. Back to Lashoff for Kindle. 4 to go in period number 2. Ken Daniels, Mickey Redmond with you, and our Fox Sports Detroit crew as the puck is back in the Dallas zone. First of 2 meetings this season. We'll meet again January 4th at Dallas. Point shot, deflected and wide of the goal. Getting it is Roussel. Gave it away though, Kindle at the line, in for Helm. Slowed down, made a move, and couldn't get a shot on goal. Ryan Garbutt crossing there and giving it to Alex Goligoski. The defenseman put one back into the face-off circle area. Knocked away though, as Horkoff was able to grab it for Eric Cole. Up the middle goes Nichushkin. He's right in on goal. Oh, and he couldn't pull one past Howard, who Went to the backhand, off to the forehand, and couldn't bury it.
Well, the kid's getting chances, though. That's his third, I'd say, really good scoring chance tonight. It looks like this one might have gone off the goalpost. But Howard covered it all. Look at this.
Oh. Break, and Alfredson couldn't get free. Up along with Weiss, though, and Cleary. Here's Holmquist looking for two. Didn't shoot it. Alfredson.
Gotta shoot it quick, kid.
Kronwall. Off the glass, Cleary.
Good battle, man. It's a good battle.
Good battle. You can hear Kelly Sutherland, the referee, saying.
Easy for you to say, right?
Yeah. Here's Kronwall. Alfredson sneaking in far side. He got him the puck off his skate. Off the skate of Sagan. Brought back in Alfredson. Datsuk to the goal. Zetterberg to Datsuk. Stick lifted. De Keyser will have to hurry back as Jamie Benn gets through, and De Keyser cut off.
That's another calling card for Dan De Keyser. His ability to skate like a forward. He showed it there.
Datsuk to open ice. Now De Keyser. For Pavel Datsuk. Bertuzzi in front of the goal.
Ooh.
Knocked down, nearly gloved. Datsuk stole it. Giving it to Zetterberg. Zetterberg back of the goal, off the back of the net. Now it's Bertuzzi's turn. Held up by Robidoux. Zetterberg got a stick on it. Now the other side. Dallas has had 6 defensive zone turnovers this period. The Red Wings with none. So the way things have gone in period middle stanzas of late for Detroit,
It's all over there.
it's a whole lot better.
Well, this line has dominated every shift they've been on the ice the last 6-7 minutes.
Jamie Benn tried to play it back to himself. It didn't work. Ablocator. Taken by Chiasson. From the Boston University, Chiasson can't break through. 38th overall pick in 09. Delayed offside. Red Wings tag up at the line. Horkoff couldn't get anywhere, but did make the play through to Chiasson. Alex Chiasson, with 6 goals, his first 7 National Hockey League games. That was a season ago. Scored 3 his first 3 this year. It's in front for Horkoff. He scores!
Wow, big goal to give up with 20 seconds left, boy. With some pretty good hands by Shane Horkoff.
Horkoff scored a lot of goals in this building as a member of Michigan State.
Well, Detroit got caught with nobody in front of the net. Could have got a penalty there. They got away with that. But look at all the red jerseys over on the far side, and Horkoff moves it to his forehand from the backhand and banks it off the goalpost. And look at this. See all 5 red jerseys over there. Horkoff by himself in front of Jimmy Howard. Huge goal for Dallas potentially with 20 seconds left, and now it's a one-shot game probably as we enter the third period.
Horkoff was a 3-year Edmonton captain at the time of the trade to Dallas. He narrows the gap. Chiasson and Goligoski assisting at 1939. As Gonchar will close the period. So until the final 21 seconds, a great second period for Detroit as they had themselves a couple of goals, but for Horkoff to ruin the party at that moment. But a night to remember, yes, indeed, for Mr. Holmquist, who has his first NHL goal. Shannon Hogan here to speak with the head coach. But first, let's send it back to the studio and Justin White.
Well, Coach, I know you guys have been trying to focus on that second period a little bit more and increasing the amount of play you guys have and the level of play. You guys controlled the play a lot that second period up until that last goal. What did you like from your team so far, and what do they need to do down the end?
Well, I thought the first couple of minutes we didn't do it. We stayed on too long, and they ended up having an advantage. And then as soon as we got out changing them and shooting the puck and playing their own things, we had a poor sort out at the end. They scored a goal. That's life. We're set up really good here for the third period. They really skate. We can skate. It's going to be fast. Let's continue to stay on top of them, keep our foot on the gas, and let's be responsible without the puck.
All right, thanks so much for your time. Good luck with the rest of the game, guys.
And there's the third-year pro, Adam Almquist, Detroit's 7th round pick, 210th overall in 09, the second last pick in the draft. And when you think he went second last, now granted the draft was 7 rounds then, and back when it was 9 rounds, Jonathan Ericsson went dead last in the draft. Amazing that if guys who can play in your lineup like that and take it so late. 3 things you need to know about Adam Almquist. One of those, he began playing hockey at the age of 4, and
Like most of us.
yeah,
3 or 4 years old. And if you're wondering, folks, what Mike Babcock meant when he said we had a bad sort out near the end and it cost us, what he really means is somebody missed a defensive assignment. People weren't communicating, and that left Sean Horkoff all alone in front of the net. That means we didn't sort it out quick enough, and they burned us.
Jamie Benn will shoot at the goalpost.
Wow.
Dallas captain just rattled the iron. Jamie Benn with that shot. Scored 20 or more goals in each of the last 3 full seasons in the National Hockey League is Jamie Benn. Here's Weiss. Grabbed easily by Kari Lehtinen. And be at the Joel for Military Appreciation Night, Tuesday, November 12th, when the Wings take on the Jets. For 7,500 fans, get a military hat courtesy of the Red Wings. For tickets, call 313-471-7575. Now, ticket executives are standing by. Right off the face-off, brought on by Whitney. Over here to Chiasson. Puck into the corner. Trying to work with it is Eakin. Got knocked down. Came into the slot for Chiasson. Made the play over to the left wing side. Back here for Benn. Jordy Benn. Knocked down. Weiss has it. On to Alfredson. Goes down inside the line and took the shot. The Kari Lehtinen a hold.
Boy, he does try to catch everything, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If he can. And obviously got a lot of confidence in that catching glove, and Eakin is shaken up. In trouble making the reverse. He got a broken skate, possibly.
I think so.
He looks hurt. What happened here? Right here. He's struggling to get up. It's easy for me to laugh. Oh my God! I think he had a broken skate. And did he ever take a header? Holy mackerel! That's like having your skate cards on when you skate in the ice. Samuelson did that on one of our road trips not too long ago and got a big hand from everybody on the ice when he was, you know what, over tea kettle.
Yeah. Yeah.
For practice in the morning. Oh boy.
Daly. Tatar hit his man. Nichushkin. Back for Thomas Tatar. On to Abdelkader. Left wing feed for Anderson. Back for Abdelkader, but right in on Lehtinen, and he'll hold on to that. Well, if a Detroit player gets a hat trick in this game, bring in a copy of the scoring summary to a participating Arby's tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of that summary in your newspaper or on the Red Wings page at foxsportsdetroit.com.
Hard to get them curly fries these days.
And by the way, in intermission, I was asked who are the 3 ahead of Pavel Datsyuk, who's going to take this face-off in jersey sales. And according to NHL.com, Pat Kane, Jonathan Toews, Sidney Crosby, Pavel Datsyuk, and in 5th place, Tim Thomas. The Florida Panthers.
After a year off.
I don't think they're buying him in Boston.
No.
Wouldn't think.
Yeah, that's a bit of a strange one.
Yeah.
For sure. Red Wing,
By Seguin and in.
Red Wing jerseys on a whole are a very popular jersey in the sports world.
Well, with the classic sweaters coming,
Yeah.
even more so.
You know, you used to have the Yankees, the Red Sox. That's Miller offside. You know, the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Lakers were always a big selling jersey with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson. But the Detroit Red Wing logo is, of course, one of only 6 that started this league, and well-respected all around the world.
Weiss won that face-off for Quincy and in. Wrapped around here for Chiasson, had to go off his stick.
And with help of Jim Nill, who we talked about tonight, the new Dallas manager, the Red Wings have become a model franchise who everybody's trying to emulate here in the modern day.
Chiasson got checked. For all Chiasson scoring at the NHL level, he wasn't a big scorer at Boston University. 15 goals in 38 games, his most productive season at BU.
Funny thing, boys, sometimes
Yep.
players are great juniors or college players and aren't so good, and that's out of play when they get to the pros, and others who are just kind of average, just kind of kicking along, and next thing you know, they become really good pros. He may be one of them.
Well, he had 9 goals and 11 points his first 10 NHL games. He's got no goals his past 6. Last season, 6 goals his first 7 and goals in his first 3 this year, but is a very good net front guy. The Stars say they haven't had many of those, but
Yeah.
this is a guy who loves to go to the front of the net.
He's a good kid.
38th overall pick in 09.
He looks like he's got an offensive brain. He's made some moves here tonight. They haven't paid off, but nonetheless, he's trying things like
So
the high-end scorer
Schuster
does.
at 18 years
for
old.
sure. Yeah. Yeah, he seems to get it. He just doesn't know what to do with it sometimes.
That's right.
He can't connect the dots yet,
Yes.
but look out when he does. Holy smoke.
Yeah, when Schuster starts finishing, boy. He's out there now, along with Eric Cole and Horkov. The lines have been mixed up a little bit. Lindy Ruff juggling to try to match his Olympic compatriot Mike Babcock. Not having the last change, so advantage Detroit as Jamie Benn carries in with a good move. In on goal, he scores!
What a goal.
I think Jimmy Howard thought maybe he was going to go high on that one and flip it. It went underneath. Great goal by Jamie Benn, and it's a 2-2 tie.
Well, it was a nice move by Ben. He got kind of tied up by Cronwall, and he slipped it. Jimmy Howard seemed to almost catch an edge. Yeah, he was stretched out. He thought it was going to get there quicker than it did. He almost pulled the string on the yo-yo is what happened. And there was the turnover back at the other end. But my gosh, that's, 150 feet away. That shouldn't really matter. He just walked through there and got himself a goal. That ties it up, and very strange goal.
So how big that late goal in period 2 now is by Sean Horcoff for Dallas. And that allows Ben to get the equalizer. They came back a couple of nights ago in Boston and won the game in a shootout. Dallas on a 2-game winning streak. Both their last 2 wins have come in a shootout. Zetterberg with a shot on goal that was stopped by Lettman. In fact, the Stars have just 2 regulation wins their last dozen games. Extra time, they've done damage. Zetterberg looked into the slot. Cronwall gave him the puck back. Zetterberg finds Datsyuk. Around 1, and a shot, and a piece of that by Lettman. To Kaiser left side. He'll rifle one, then off a leg and wide. Cronwall to Datsyuk. Shooting one, up high. That caught Lettman up in the head. Knocking it down.
That's a good example, Ken, right there, what I talked about earlier, that Datsyuk last year and this year shooting the puck a lot more than he ever did.
Here's Ray Whitney from a tough angle in on Howard. He held his ground and will hold on to the puck. And he's checking his mask. He had hit in the head to Kari Lettman.
Pavel took that pass, a couple of jukes, deeks, and dives, and might have been off the defenseman Robideau's stick, but it almost fooled Lettman. No, it did not hit the defenseman at all. It just about beat him clean. Well, that's something Datsyuk never did much of his first 7-8 years, to shoot the puck like that. He was always looking to pass, but now he's recognizing opportunities within 30 to 40 feet where he can shoot the puck and score. 2 great minds thinking alike most of the time, talking strategy when they go back to the bench.
Kari Lettman trying to get his Stars into the playoffs for the first time in 6 seasons. Dallas hasn't been to the postseason since losing to the Red Wings in the Western Conference Final in 2008. When's the last time Dallas has made the playoffs? Lindy Ruff, ironically enough, he was on the bench for the Buffalo Sabres when Brett Hull scored for Dallas. Obviously, little foot in the crease maybe. Back in '99 when the Stars won their Stanley Cup against Lindy Ruff's Buffalo Sabres and Dominik Hasek. Jordy Ben will shoot it in. Jimmy Howard will hold on to that.
Well, Dallas is feeding off that goal by Ben right now. Detroit's on their heels a little bit. They need to get that momentum back.
Ray Whitney at least 50 points in 7 of the last 8 seasons. Now in season number 21.
Like the Energizer Bunny, isn't he?
Yeah.
He just keeps on going. Got a wonderful set of hands.
Father was the Edmonton Oilers practice goaltender for the longest of times. He was a former stick boy. Well, he wasn't much smaller than he is now, but a former stick boy of the Edmonton Oilers. Stanley Cup in '06 with Carolina after leaving Detroit, signing a deal with the Hurricanes.
He was a stick boy for the Oilers like I was for Scotty Bowman in the Peterborough Peach way back in the '60s. Scotty was very generous in those days. Couple bucks a game and a new stick, and that was the stick, of course, was better than the $2.
I would think. I would think.
Yeah.
Loose puck here, and Cole didn't get anything on it. Good thing. From a Red Wing perspective. Tatar to Abdelkader. Flipped it in past Gonchar. Came right in front of the goal. Horkoff stumbled, made the play, help from Daly. Abdelkader took Nichushkin out. Here's an opportunity. Kronwall passed off. Abdelkader sent it wide. Kronwall will shoot. Hit a shin pad in front. Gonchar was there to block. Nichushkin lays one back for Gonchar.
He's really upset at himself that he missed the net.
Ben fired in, came right in front of the goal, grabbed by Zetterberg. Kronwall. Pass taken away now. Fed to DeKeyser for Bertuzzi. He's got one of the 2 Red Wing goals tonight. Adam Almquist, the first of his career with the other one. Off Datsuk's stick. Kronwall's got it. Option for DeKeyser was taken away, so he gives it to Bertuzzi and on to Datsuk. That's offside at the Dallas line. We'll be back. 2-2 tie. Third period at the Joe.
Bring you our AT&T U-verse reverse, and it'll be the 4 goals that have got us here in a 2-2 tie. A double steal by the Magic Man Datsuk. Bertuzzi on the receiving end of that one, and then Almquist from Zetterberg and Bertuzzi to make it 2-0. But Dallas wasn't done. 20 seconds left in the period. Nice hands by Sean Horkoff. 2-1. Big goal to give up late. And then Jamie Benn with a strange one. Pulled the string on it and fooled Jimmy Howard a few moments ago. With 12:37 to go, we got a 2-2 tie. AT&T U-verse reverse is done.
And a little change on the top line. Michael Samuelsson with Datsuk and Zetterberg now.
And Mike Babcock's trying to get momentum back. Dallas sort of stole it after that goal by Ben.
And nearly taken by Seguin. Kronwall ahead for Datsuk to Zetterberg. Turning back to get it is Datsuk. Got there in front of Peverley. The right wing offensive corner for Zetterberg with help from Samuelsson. DeKeyser with the shot to the goal. Came down into Zetterberg's skates. He found it, shot it, stopped by Lettman.
There's just a lot of scrappy play in this game tonight. A lot of close quarters by both teams.
Scrappy game and but 1 power play. Dallas 0 for 1 on it. Red Wings haven't had a chance. Sorry, Beltire. Amazing how many games the Red Wings haven't had a lot of opportunities.
Right. Well, that's out of play, but no penalty for that one.
Get the $59 fan pack to watch the Wings take on the Predators November 19th. or see them battle the Panthers November 21st. You'll get 2 tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 soft drinks for just $59. Go to DetroitRedWings.com now for tickets. And what do the Preds and the Red Wings have in common? The only 2 teams to beat Patrick Roy and the Avalanche this season. Nashville just did it last night. The more and more I watch Matt Duchene of Colorado, that guy's got such speed.
Like the goal he
If he
scored
isn't
last
playing
night,
with Crosby on Team Canada,
Yeah.
I know you're talking about Kunitz, but with speed like that,
Yeah.
move him out of the center to the wing, my goodness.
Well, I think
Speed will do.
if they feel that he'll be responsible defensively, he's probably got a good shot to be on that team.
Oh, I would think so. How do you not? So Nashville coming to town, and with Pecorine being out for a while, they're going to need some offense, and they found some last night against the Avs. Abdelkader looking for one. Wraparound try.
Well, speaking of Olympic teams, Ken, as we have an Olympic exhibition of wrestling and punching right now, Abdelkader in the middle of it. Tried himself a wraparound, but Lettinen was there again. He's been good tonight, for sure. The Canadian team is one. The U.S. team is another. Jonathan Quick, Craig Anderson, Ottawa, injured right now. Ryan Miller in Buffalo getting beat on all over the place right now, but the Sabres are just...
He's been really, really good, though.
Yeah.
If it weren't for him,
Yeah.
I'd hate to see the scores. Ryan Miller,
I know.
really, despite those numbers and not getting a lot of help, he has been one of the better goaltenders in the league this season.
They've also talked about him being moved because of the situation that
Could
Buffalo's
be.
in. They got 5 teenagers in their lineup. They've already sent
Yeah.
the kid, who was the kid that had the bad injury? I forget his name. Down to the minors. They waived him. Not Bannock. They traded him for Molson.
Saved by Howard, came out front. Loose puck. And Samuelson able to clear it. Back to get it goes Gonchar. Won a Stanley Cup while with Pittsburgh in 09. 3 Cup finalists been to Gonchar, all against Detroit. One with Washington he lost, one with Pittsburgh he lost, and then finally got his revenge in 09. And he was injured for a bit and came back and was a key member for the Penguins against the Red Wings. Here's the Stars looking for something in front. As Almquist and Horkoff fought for the puck. Quincy.
Patrick Coletta, I was thinking of, Ken, for Buffalo, got suspended and then waived. That bad, dangerous hit. So the Sabres got a lot of stuff going on over there.
Helm able to get it back to center. Oh, really too many men on the ice.
Right.
Let it go. Daly hopped off. Tyler Seguin will just shoot it in. Howard off the glass.
That was close.
And then into the netting. Off the glass, so no penalty there for delay of game. As the Dallas Stars and Red Wings here in a tight 1-2-2, approaching the halfway point in the third. Dallas's last 3 games have all gone to extra time. They lost 1 in overtime and 2 in a shootout. They've won their last 2. Red Wings trying to get back in their winning ways after dropping 1 Monday in Winnipeg.
Well, all in all, I mean, it's been a pretty good game for Detroit. A few letdowns like the second, or the first goal, rather, at the end of the period.
Stephen Weiss with another face-off win there. He has been outstanding tonight. 15
good.
face-off wins of 18 draws for Stephen Weiss.
Yeah.
My goodness, what a night. And we saw him getting better on the road. Here's a turnover, and the shot just wide. Stefan Robidas. Cleary stayed with him. Back to the point to Dillon. The shot off a leg. Getting down the block, it was Weiss. Dillon scampered in. Near side now for Stefan Robidas. Whitney made the play. Conwall batted it out to center.
Well, Dallas is really pushing it right now.
The Red Wings quickly get the Datsuk line out there. Lindy Ruff had his brothers. It would be Dillon and Robidas. On the back end, Zetterberg. Back with Bertuzzi and Datsuk. Lettinen played it to the corner. And Shushkin with a pass that failed to click with Eric Cole. Cole, who was acquired for Michael Ryder, is now in New Jersey. Stars the last year and a bit traded their 2 leading scorers, Jaromir Jagr and Michael Ryder.
Nobody knows where the puck
Bertuzzi
is.
had it. He was up in his equipment. Jordy Bennett grabbed by Datsuk. Feathered one back to Lashoff, who held in for Kindle. To Zetterberg, to Datsuk. What a move! Right in! Scores!
Wow.
Oh, a Datsukian deke, that's a beauty! It's two.
What a goal. I'll let you look at it that way. This puck was retrieved. Look at him looking in the stands. How do you like that, he says. Oh, that is a beauty to watch. Look at him coming down the slot. Takes the pass. Twists this Dallas player inside out. He's corkscrewed into the ground. And it, just like I was talking about earlier, a bullet wrist shot. Right off the hash mark. Look at that. Look at Pavel. She's going to center field, baby. 3-2 for the home team. What a play.
And it was Horkoff who he twirled around.
Well, he was caught flat-footed, that's why. And if you can't grab him and take a penalty, he's gone. There's the ghost right there. You couldn't touch him. You didn't see him. He was a phantom. And then the puck was in the net.
That was so good, even Siri's cheering for him.
Wow. We got to see that again, honest to goodness. We got to see that again. The puck was turned over at the back end.
When we come back, a little talk of the Hall of Fame coming up on Monday for Brendan Shanahan and Chris Chelios. Well, this coming Monday, it'll be a big Red Wing connection at the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. Chris Chelios going in, and so well-deserved, and so is Brendan Shanahan. Brett Hull was asked about Brendan today, and he had a great line about him. They said to Brett, what do you think about Brendan Shanahan being the Dean of Discipline in the National Hockey League? Brett said, it's an oxymoron that Shanny is Dean of Discipline. That would be like me being the Minister of Defense. But Brett Hull's pride was never for back-checking first, maybe later in his career, but that was very funny.
Yeah.
So it'll be a great night. Congrats to Shanny and Chelly, and a big night coming up on Monday. And a year from now, Dominic Hasek will be going into the Hall of Fame with Peter Forsberg. No doubt about that for those two on first ballot, I would think, a year in 2015.
Yeah, well, Shanahan and Chelios just part of a long list of Red Wing jerseys that are going into the Hall of Fame after entertaining Red Wing fans here.
Shot wide of the goal. For 2014, that would be a year from now. Here's Datsuk back of the net. Put it back to the line to Kronwall. Went wide. Fans wanting their first Red Wing power play of this game to finally arrive with just 7:20 to go in the third. Off to Kaiser and Datsuk.
Whoa,
hey,
geez.
big collision.
Whoa.
Sagan and Peverley, the two who were acquired in the trade with Boston.
Whoa,
and
my
Sagan's not getting up.
That was a wicked collision with almost like a whirly-bird helicopter.
He's cut.
Three guys came together. You could put a blanket over them. Dallas guys.
And one was Peverley. So those
The
two,
center of the
Sagan and
ice.
Peverley.
Now watch this guy, and this guy. They're all going to converge at the same time right in here. Boom. Look at this. Holy smoke. All three of them got part of the collision. And not a red jersey touched them. Watch this. Elbow right in the chops there.
Now Brendan Shanahan won't be looking at that one.
There'll be no discipline on that one. And here's Sagan. He's an innocent party that got caught off guard at the end of it. Holy mackerel.
So Ben got Peverley and then got Sagan.
He's a nice elbow. He's looking at his face mask going, geez. Good thing I had that on, I guess, eh?
Yeah, I guess. Well, remember, and when Brian Lashoff got hit on the road trip in the face, had he not had the visor, he said it just
hit him
would
at the
have...
bottom, didn't it?
Oh, it got him, like, his face, he said, I wouldn't want to even think about it. What I would have looked like had I not had the visor on.
Yeah.
Well, pretty soon, every player in the league will have one. They're grandfathered in. Can't take it off coming out of junior or college or Europe. Ray Whitney trying to bust through. Alex Chiasson back at the line with it. Hit a body loose. And good play by Alfredson coming back on Brendan Dillon.
Well, one more look at this absolutely dazzling goal. And we're going to start the play. Watch this behind the net. This is where I said, where's the puck? Bertuzzi has got it in his paraphernalia back here. It gets dropped. No whistle. Now hold it there. Datsuk's the only guy. Go ahead. Get her. Here goes Pavel. He gets the loose puck here. Watch the move he makes here. Between the feet of this guy. Boom. Back to the point. Now watch Pavel. He's sleeping over here. Bang. Perfect play. Bang, bang, bang to the net. What a highlight goal that is going to be tonight and tomorrow in the NHL. Wow.
2 goals, 6 points the past 4 games now for Pavel Datsyuk. Same story for Henrik Zetterberg. Yeah, that was something.
He is some individual hockey player.
Think he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer when his days are up?
No question about it.
Yeah, me too.
No question.
And by the way, we should mention Scott Niedermayer too.
Oh, what a great player he was.
Yeah.
Boy.
Haley Wickenheiser and Freddie the Fog Shiro. It's well overdue for him, for Fred Shiro,
Yeah.
to go in.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Ray and the family.
Freddie had one rule in Philadelphia when those guys were winning their cups, and that was, we don't have any rules.
Howard couldn't hold it. Beverly tried to center for Jamie Benn. Abdelkader for Helm. To Miller. Return pass was blocked. Helm put it back to the point. Jordy Benn out to center, and Kronwall with for De Keyser. Quickly moved to Miller and chipped in deep, and the Red Wings will get a change. Over the boards comes Zetterberg and Bertuzzi to join Pavel Datsyuk. Shot into the glove of Howard from Ryan Garbutt. 5:33 to go in the third. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit.
Justin White in the studio with a game break. Montreal and Ottawa will pick it up with the Senators up 2-1, and Mark Vorvashevsky with a laser for his first career NHL goal. Ottawa goes on to win it 4-1. Coming up after the game, we'll have all of your reaction from Joe Louis Arena, plus analysis from Darren Elliott and Chris Osgood. But for now, back to Ken and Mickey for the final minutes of the third period.
Thanks, Justin. High-speed shot of the game brought to you by Charter. And here it is, 22-year-old Adam Alquist. Bertuzzi to Zetterberg. To Alquist, nice position. Bingo, 2-0 Detroit. First goal of his NHL career for young Alquist. And the smile tells you, look at that. Way to go, kid. A beautiful pass from the veteran Z-Man. And it was a second goal for Detroit. There's his ice time tonight. With the injury to Eriksson, the door open for Ouellet, open for this kid.
Eriksson won't be back off IR until late next week. Off the face-off, a shot from Garbutt from in close. Abdelkader leading Helm, never a bad idea. Helm shoots it, saved Leckman. Abdelkader following up. In comes Drew Miller. Bouncing puck. Last shot and Kindle in back of the goal. Stars try to center. Miller tying up Nichushkin. Kindle reversed. Around for Darren Helm. Make sure to clear it out of harm's way. It'll roll into the Dallas end of the rink. Trevor Daley for Alex Goligoski. Across center. Howard skipped it to the corner. Rich Peverly to Tyler Seguin. Jamie Benn in front of the net. Seguin, nice move there with a head fake. Bertuzzi slithered one around. Kronwall off the stick, came out to center. And Kronwall with it again with the help from Pavel Datsyuk. De Keyser on the left side. Entry into the zone. Dillon for Chiasson. 4 to go in the third period.
This is where Detroit needs to really buckle down defensively here. Your man-on-man, this will be an icing, yes, against Detroit. They both have their timeouts. And we'll take our time to bring you our Timberland hard hits of the game. There hasn't been many tonight. Michael Samuelsson, who's not very often involved with hitting, got away with that with no penalty. Almquist with a little bit of physical play for a little guy. And then the yard sale. The clearance rack. Holy mackerel. 3 of them. Spun around like a helicopter. Brought to you by Timberland. Way to go. Everybody survived that crash in the middle of the ice. And they arrived to pronounce everybody okay, as the song went.
Chasson just tipped it to an open wing. Holmquist for Alfredson. Clario going after. Ray Whitney. As the Stars come into the Red Wing zone. Gonchar put it in front. Now it's Chasson. Back to the point, Goligoski, and Howard able to see it out in front of the blue. Holds on to it.
Easy for Jimmy Howard to see from the blue line.
Well, join us again Saturday when the Red Wings take on Steve Yzerman's Tampa Bay Lightning. Steven Stamkos, Marty St. Louis and company, and what a season they're having. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Red Wings Live. It's Red Wings Lightning Saturday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Detroit. And efforting to hear from Steve Yzerman during that game with you, Mick, and that'll be really interesting to get the former captain's thoughts on a number of things.
We think it's going to take place. Look out.
Abdelkader in front. Oh, he's going to get a penalty.
Oh, he's not going to like it.
He tried to hold up. Here come the Stars. Lettman not even going to the bench. He's not up yet. Trying to make sure he's already got the call.
Wow.
He was too tired to even make his way to the bench. Didn't care at that point.
Whether this is an act to make sure, of course, they're going to call that, but Abdelkader is going to plead his case, and you can be the referee. What do you got? Well, he got bumped, but his own momentum really...
He tried to stop.
He did try to stop.
Tried to stop.
There's no question about that, but that's not the point that'll get him off the hook. The fact of the matter is he couldn't stop, and too much contact made, and therefore the call and a possible critical one with 2:44. What we're going to see here in the first 60 seconds of this power play, if Dallas doesn't score, minute and a half left probably, that goaltender's going out, and you're 6 on 4.
Last 5 games, 69.5% on draws, and what a night he's having. 15 of 21 tonight, and another one, 16 of 22 for Stephen Weiss in the face-off department. What a night.
Third period. Abdelkader 2 minutes for goaltender interference at 17-16. Red Wings penalty kill brought to you by...
So the Stars come through center. In back of the goal, they center one. Oh, and it hit the referee on the outlet try. It was loose, tried to clear, and Denny Leroux hit him. And on a second try, the Red Wings able to get it down the ice. That was too close for comfort. Whitney to Sagan. Back for Whitney. Off a skate of Quincy, and Drew Miller will send it down as Anderson. He's watching Gonchar. Daly off the wing, stopped by Howard. 1:35 to go.
Lettman's got to be going here with Dallas. 45 seconds left in their power play. When Lindy Ruff's waving him. Come on. Come on.
Now Chasson's got it. They bring it in. Going to the bench is Lettman. Puck hits a leg. Empty net for Dallas. 6 skaters for the Stars. 4 for Detroit. Shorthanded here. Eakin scores!
What a shot. Wow.
3-3 tie with 70 seconds left. Power play goal for Dallas, 1 for 2 tonight.
Now, Dustin Abdelkader had a few words for the referees that came out of the box. As you might expect, what a shot by Eakin through Kronwall. It might have hit him. Far side on the blocker. Yeah,
hit a stick in front, hit the Kaiser.
Completely screened was Howard. Did it hit the Kaiser?
I think so.
Howard didn't see it. You can tell by his reaction. He looked over his right shoulder after it was already by him. What a nice shot by Eakin to tie this game with 1 minute and 10 seconds left. It's a power play goal. 6 skaters to 4, and we're tied again.
So Dallas, no stranger to this situation. Their last 3 games have all gone to extra time. Winning 2 in a shootout, losing 1 in overtime, and they've tied it up again. just like they did in Boston on Tuesday, but that was a Vernon Fiddler penalty shot, not a power play that tied up the game late. Gonchar getting the lone assist on the Eakin goal at 18:50.
There's an icing.
3-3 tie. Face-off back in the Stars zone.
Now one more look at this tying goal. Excellent shot by Eakin to the far side. Oh, yeah. Jimmy Howard's blocker, he got a little wee piece of it, but it found its way into the top corner on the far side. That's why you shoot the puck as hard as you possibly can. Back that up, guys. We'll show it one more time. Watch Jimmy Howard's blocker right in there, and the puck hit it. Right there. Right on the tip of the blocker and into the back of the net. Howard was mad. He smashed his stick over the top of the crossbar with a late goal like that, but I don't know that he saw it. He almost stopped it, obviously, by that replay. Or maybe
I thought it hit something away, and that's why I thought it hit the Kaiser.
I'm sure he felt it hit his blocker,
right,
and was hoping it went wide of the net, and not. That's why he looked over his shoulder and went, "Oh no!"
So 8 seconds after Kari Lehtinen made his way to the bench, the Dallas Stars tie up the game. A power play goal. First one against Detroit, their last 20 times shorthanded. So, they're going to retake the lead. They haven't trailed in this game. Off the draw, Dillon. This will be another icing.
They're looking at each other. Yeah, another icing. Cromwell tried to get there, and he was there, but it went by him.
Now they'll just do it on the other side.
And Pavel Datsyuk lost that draw. Cromwell and Ben with exchanging some pleasantries.
The visitor has to put his stick down first. Dallas wins that faceoff. Run on here by DeKeyser. Less than a half minute to go to Zetterberg. To Datsyuk. To Bertuzzi. And Lehtinen will grab it. And they'll put it at the dot again. See if the Red Wings get another chance out of this faceoff.
Todd Bertuzzi on that play held it as long as he could and waited for a teammate, Datsyuk, I believe, to get to the front of the net, hoping for a deflection or a rebound. The younger player might have just ripped it, and it's an easy save for the goaltender in this league.
Well, key guy here for the Red Wings on this side was Stephen Weiss. Overall, Detroit 56% in the face-off circle, and Weiss way better than that, and he won another one. But this time it's the Stars' Chiasson to Whitney. Whitney working to the goal, right in, and couldn't get a shot. Whitney's got it again into the slot. Puck out at center, and we're going to head to overtime. So the Dallas Stars, for a 4th consecutive game, are going to extra time. As we say, they've only won 2 of their past dozen in regulation. They've won 2 of their past 3 and 2 in a row, both in shootouts. The one they lost was in overtime. So the Red Wings 4-on-4 can settle this thing.
Well, our big boy play of the game is going to be that tying goal by Eakin a few moments ago with the goaltender on the bench. 6 skaters for Dallas, and Detroit a man short with the Abdelkader penalty for goaltender interference. Eakin ties the game. That's our big boy play of the game. And obviously our Miller player of the game that's going to come yet will be, if there is, a winning goal.
So what do you think about the first game back after a West Coast trip?
Pretty good. Pretty good game. I mean, yeah, I forgot about that now that all this has been going on all night. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, when you put it that way, usually it's a stinker at home. When you come off a long road trip like that, 4 games, 8-9 days, yeah. Pretty good effort by the Red Wings, I'd say. And a disappointing tying goal moments ago on a penalty that they might think they shouldn't have had to Justin Abdelkader. But they still have a chance to win it here with 4-on-4 and the shootout. So It'll be hard to match the Datsuk goal for our Miller play of the game, but we'll wait and see. Pavel's obviously disappointed that his goal didn't stand up, but he's got to say, well, maybe I'll just have to do it again.
For Dallas, this ends a 3-game road trip and a string of 9 of 12 on the road they're in the midst of, while the Red Wings in the midst of 7 of 8 at home. Sean Horcoff had a big goal tonight from Whitney and Chiasson with 21 seconds to go in the second to narrow the gap to 2-1. And then Jamie Benn tied it. Pavel Datsuk untied it. And Eakin put it to where we are now. There he is. Cody Eakin, former Capital. So it'll be Seguin against Datsuk. Zetterberg up with Pavel. Kronwall tried to feed it to Zetterberg, didn't work. The Kaiser got his stick in the way of the Tyler Seguin shot, and it's up and out of play.
This is dangerous territory, boy, this 4-on-4. You really got to think, be a real good thinker. Stick gets in the way to have the turnover, and the stick gets in the way to force the scoring, to reverse the scoring chance by the Stars.
Seguin, who played his junior hockey in Plymouth. Datsuk got that face-off over to Kronwall.
A lot of this 4-on-4 is like a game of chess, boy. With no gambling. Wait for your opportunity.
And at some point, we may see 3-on-3 before we get to a shootout. If Ken Holland has his way down the road,
Wouldn't bother me.
he'll keep trying to get it. Here come the Stars. Goligoski to Jamie Benn.
Stay with him.
Seguin knocked away by DeKaiser, and both teams will change here on the fly. You don't want to get caught here in 4-on-4 in a tired situation. Alfredson and Weiss for Detroit. Chiasson and Eakin for Dallas. Up as Robidoux came in, gets hit by Quincy. Holmquist.
Isn't that interesting? You got young Holmquist out there in a real critical situation for a young defenseman.
Cody Eakin turns, a hand pass called.
Boy.
Holmquist, who has his first National Hockey League goal. A tough night in Winnipeg, -2 in his debut.
Well, it's not an easy situation to be put into, and you're thinking as a young player, I remember thinking as a 19-year-old, boy, I just don't want to, in Montreal, I don't want to be the guy that makes a mistake to give up the goal. You're worried about that as much as anything. Let alone going offensively if you're a forward and trying to win the game. You just don't want to give it up. It's got to be doubly like that for a defenseman.
Rich Peverley in back of the goal. Got some help from Nichushkin. Valerie Nichushkin to the line. Jordy Benn put it back into the corner. Kindle for Helm. Back into traffic. And with that, the Stars able to come up with it. To the line, Jordy Benn. Moved it over far side, gets it back from Gonchar. Walks the line and goes in deep with it, does Benn. Saved by Howard, scoop that.
Bertuzzi and Helm trying to sort it out. And there's Bertuzzi now talking to Helm as they go off about, he went, you go over there, man to man. You've got to be on top of your guy man to man. Watch Bird up here when this puck gets turned over. See him pointing, he's saying, Darren, you go over here and cover the left side. I'll take the right side over here. And let's not both guys, you see this guy over here? That's the guy you got to cover. Sort that out. That's what Babcock was talking about in the second intermission. We didn't sort it out and they scored. That time they did.
Great catch there.
You got to think quickly in this game, boys. Split seconds.
Drew Miller with Anderson 4-on-4. Miller back of the goal. Here's Quincy. Back there with Holmquist. Miller behind the net. Goligoski trying to squeeze him there as Anderson moved it back to the line to Holmquist again. Shot wide of the goal, came out in front. Anderson banging away, and Lettinen with some help from his teammates able to hold it.
I think there Almquist purposely banked that puck off the end board. I don't think he was shooting for the net. That's a pretty heads-up play for a young player that hasn't played much in Joe Louis Arena. And these are lively boards here. And watch him here at the point. Yeah, see, he's not going to the net here. He banks it here, looking for something to happen off the end boards, and it almost did. That's smart because you don't want to get the shot blocked. That's the one thing they tell defensemen. You got to get it through. If you can't get it on the net, put it somewhere else. But don't get your shot blocked and let them come the other way.
Face-off went right back to Kronwall. And it wasn't necessarily a Datsuk win. Datsuk's got it now, though. Cuts into the middle, knocked off his stick. Jamie Benn, stolen by Datsuk. Spins back with it, went back to center.
He does want to do it again. You can just see it in him.
The Kaiser. Zetterberg, Datsuk way in behind. He's got it.
Late.
Yep, he knew exactly.
The plan.
Zetterberg would give him the puck. Datsuk shoots. Oh, and just wide. A piece of it by Lettinen. Just enough. Tyler Seguin hitting the Red Wing zone for Jamie Benn. Shot stopped by Howard. Robidoux couldn't get it through. Zetterberg back to Kronwall. Datsuk will go off.
Boy, if Datsuk and Zetterberg been horses or what in the second and third period. Boy.
Right back out there is Almquist for Stephen Weiss. Stephen Weiss has been an overtime hero for the Red Wings this season in Carolina. Red Wings 1-1 in overtime and 0-1 in the shootout so far this season. 65 seconds away from the skills competition if we get there. Chiasson puts it through. Eakin a shot and a save by Howard. Bertuzzi. He could be a factor for the Red Wings. We keep on going here and get to a shootout. Eakin back in. Blocker to side by Howard. Eakin another shot. Goligoski for Dallas. Trevor Daley thought of backing up but stayed with it for Nichushkin. Couldn't get it clean. Valerie Nichushkin. Big size difference there with Almquist. Fed it off. 20 seconds to go. Scores! The Stars' Rich Peverley wins it for Dallas in overtime, 4-3. Fans here are shocked.
They are shocked, as are the Red Wings. With seconds to go, this game gets tied, and then Peverley wins it for them, and that'll have to be our Miller play of the game. It's a winning goal with just 18 seconds left in the overtime. It looked like another screenshot through some traffic. Watch Peverley. When again, play on play, there's a little bit of room. They give it to Peverley up here, and look at all the traffic here. Nichushkin, boom. There's no chance. Yeah. See, Peverley loops at the top of the circles. Detroit backs off them a little bit, so the man-to-man wasn't exactly there on the switch-off, and Peverley takes advantage of that. You got big guys crossing in front of Jimmy Howard. He never saw that either, so...
How about the Dallas Stars? Rich Peverley, deciding goal in the shootout on Tuesday night, wins it for Dallas.
Yep.
And tonight in overtime, he wins it for Dallas. 4 consecutive games to extra time for the Stars. They've won 3 of them. A nice way to finish off their 3-game road trip, as the Red Wings have dropped 4 straight at home and 2 in a row overall. Our coverage continues. Red Wings Live. Darren and Chris with Justin.